remember calling my dad, brother, mum, I got called up for Ghana, this and that.
What was their reaction?
Everyone just screaming. Mum screaming down the phone. I'm thinking I even have to put my phone to the side and that. Like, it's too funny.
What's going on, guys? I'm Joseph, and the name of this show is Earn Your Stripes. On this show, we'll be talking to some of your favorite stars as we explore some of their untold stories while they break down what it really took to achieve their level of success, ultimately earning their stripes. Now, on today's show, joining me is Black Stars rising star, Premier League striker, Antoine Semenyo. Antoine, how's it going, man?
What's going on, man? You good?
I'm good, man. Thank you so much for coming through, man. How have you been, bro?
Yeah, I've been chilling, man. Just relaxing. Just with family now. So just preparing for internationals, really.
Well, first things first, I mean, congratulations on, getting through your first full season in the Premier League. How would you kind of sum up your first season, full season playing in the Premier League?
It's been a roller coaster, really. Started the season coming back from injury. So just trying to show the manager what I could do kind of thing. But it's just been like chaos, really. It's like in and out the team at the start and then solidifying my spot in the team, really. So yeah, it's been good. And, scored a couple goals and yeah, man, I enjoyed myself.
I mean, touching on the goals you scored 8 goals, 2 assists. Now, obviously, season's done and we're into the off season now. What does the day-to-day and the off season look like for a professional footballer?
The sports science guys usually say after the last game is done, 7 days of not doing anything, just relax, recover kind of thing. But if you've got internationals, it's a bit different. It's like, just try to keep yourself mobile on the bike, do a bit of gym here and there. But yeah, it's more time, it's just relaxing, really.
So before we get into anything else, born and raised in South London, what was young Antoine like? What were you like as a kid?
Bubbly, just wanted to play ball, always running around, doing something athletic. With my brother always just causing chaos, I'll be honest. Like, we're just kicking the ball down the house, knocking glasses over, hitting the TV. My life is literally been football. So everything I do around the house when I was a kid was just something kicking related.
What do you think it is about you, like where you had so much energy? Is it true that you ran through a brick wall as a kid?
I've done it numerous times. That's the worst. I used to do it all. I don't know why, but I always go to my uncle's house, running down the stairs, boom, I've hit the wall. I'm just start laughing. I don't know why. That's what maybe I'm so strong now, but I'm not sure why.
And obviously, football was your life, like you said, growing up. Was football the only sport that you were into, or were there other sports?
I think as I started growing up into secondary school, it was like basketball. I love basketball, but football mainly was
Is it true? I mean, I've heard you were quite a basketball player. Were you ever better at basketball than football?
You know what? At one stage, I thought that was the case. Like, really? I think it was like year 9, year 10. I was playing basketball so much. Never played football. Didn't kick a ball, nothing, just loved basketball. So yeah, there was a phase where I loved it more than football, but yeah, man, football is the one.
So at that time, did you think you had hoop dreams? You thought you was about to go to the
I'll be honest, I'll be honest, I didn't. I just loved playing it in school, that was it. I never thought I'd go any further. And I know it's obviously hard to make into the NBA and stuff, so like, it was just a hobby, really. So,
I mean, your dad was a footballer himself.
Yeah.
I'm guessing, sort of your love for the game. Did that get passed down from him, or ultimately, how did you get into football?
Yeah, it was from my dad, really. He was playing locally around the time. I think it was like 5, 6. So I can't really remember like how good he was, but all my family used to say like the resemblance of me is from him, kind of thing. Like, really? Everything, left foot, right foot, strong, fast, is always from him. So yeah, it's obviously sad I couldn't watch it now, but because of him is where I am today, really. Just the dream of being a footballer came from him.
And what were some of the key things that you remember early on that he kind of taught you as a kid? And, it still translates to your game today.
Yeah, you know what? He used to put like a can on the floor and was like, kick it. And I'll be kicking it right foot, left foot, right foot, left foot. So as I was getting older, it became easier to use both my feet. So like by the time I got to like 9, 10, I was using left foot, right foot, and all the other kids were obviously one-footed. So like that just clicked, and the muscle memory and just the repetitiveness of the kicking of the can just So yeah, man, like, I'm so grateful for that, really.
That's so funny. So what made Premier League player Antoine Semenyo was kicking a can?
No, I can't, literally anything, paper, literally anything. So like, I'm so grateful for that. I needed that, and you can see it in my game now.
And what was the moment, growing up that you kind of realized, you know what, I'm different from the rest. Like I can actually do something with this football thing.
I think always in the school playground, I would always stand out compared to everyone else. And it wasn't like just dribbling, I'll just be skills, shooting from distance, always had the power, the strength. So like, I always knew I was going to be different to what others were. So yeah, man, I'm just so grateful for that.
If we move on to kind of like your early career,
Yeah.
and as you were coming up in football, unlike some of your other peers, you didn't really play academy football. Was that kind of something you struggled with when you looked at some of your other peers, obviously them playing in the academies and you not playing it? Did that still kind of put doubts in your mind about your dream, or you were still kind of just locked in on where you were at the time?
I think my mentality is always just like, just keep going regardless of what the circumstances are. So it's like, all my friends in school were at Millwalls, the Chelseas, the Charltons. So I'm thinking like, like at some point, like it'll happen for me. So just kept going. Like, I was always the best in school. So I always had that belief that when I get my opportunity, I'll take it. And boy, I had so many opportunities and it just never happened. So
what were some of the clubs that you went to when you were young? Do you remember?
I went to Charlton, went to Millwall like 5 times.
Really?
Went to Tottenham, went to Arsenal, went to Chelsea briefly, went to Fulham. And yeah, just the same answer, like come back in the next year or so.
Really?
I went to Millwall 5 times and they said the same things to me every single time. So it's just like, yeah, like what am I doing wrong? But I just kept on going, like just loved the game. So I was just always locked in and had that mentality to just keep going.
Did any of those no's ever discourage you, or how were you able to get over being told you're not good enough?
I think my mum and dad were a key part of that. It's like, never listen to what people say, in the sense of if they don't feel like you're good enough, don't let them doubt you, kind of thing. So I always had that mentality, like I said, just keep going. Even now to this day, if something's not going right, I always just keep going. So yeah, as a kid, it's tough. It's tough to cope with all them feelings and emotions, but my parents always just kept on pushing me to keep going.
If we just touch on briefly that moment where you said you weren't even playing football at all.
Yeah.
What was going on in that time, and why did you kind of just give up on the game at that point?
Okay, so I was on trial at Palace. That was the last club I remember vividly.
Crystal Palace?
Yeah, Crystal Palace. I was there for like 6-7 months. So I'm thinking like, they said 6 weeks and it's pushed on to 6-7 months. So like, I have a good chance of like getting signed, kind of thing. I remember I played a game and my dad said to me, you were dribbling down the line and you should have passed it, and the ball went, I think the last ricochet was off my leg, went off for a throw-in. My dad looked at the coaches in the distance and they were just shaking their head, and he was just like, that was the last thing you could remember. So after that game, obviously they said they want to speak to me. So I went upstairs into the office, I'm thinking, it's go time, I'm getting signed, kind of thing. And then the guy was like, you've been great, but come back in like a year's time, kind of thing. And that's obviously what I've been told every single time. So I'm thinking, like, what is this? Go in the car, just start crying, just busting out crying. Dad saying, it's all right, don't worry, keep going. I was like, you know what, I'm done. I don't even want to play anymore. I don't even want to play anymore. I was playing Sunday League at the time as well. I think the last club was Hirl and Belvedere. Stopped playing there, just went to school like normal, just stopped playing for a year. Yeah.
How did you rediscover your love for the game? I mean, that's such a tough.
It's a madness, really. Yeah. It is a madness. So school was done now, and one of my uncles, he comes over quite regularly, chills with my mum and dad, was like, there's an open trial, Bishop Abbey. If you want to go, you can go. If you don't want to go, like no pressure, kind of thing. And I was like, you know what? Let me see what I can do. Like these times, I haven't played for a year, so I've started putting on weight, a bit bigger than what I was before, but I still had the ability, kind of thing. So went to the trial. I'd done a mazzoline, really. Just started doing a madness, shooting from range, scoring, pushing everyone, dribbling. It's like, you know what? I've still got a bit, kind of thing. And at the end of the trial, the guy that hosted the trial is the one that obviously got me signed at Bristol. So it's like, he pushed me on to Swindon. He had a setup in Swindon. So he was like, look, just come Swindon, just see how you feel. If you don't like it, you can always move back. Just come for the year. You can attend college as well, so you're studying, kind of thing. So yeah, I moved to Swindon at 16 and studied and played there.
Let's talk about that move. I mean, That's such a big move at the age of 16. I mean, you moved away from your brother, your mother, your sister, your dad.
Yeah.
What gave you the confidence to just say, you know, I'm just going to go away from home and go chase this dream?
It was kind of like, I knew I had to make some sort of sacrifice. And it was like, being in London, I wasn't getting success. So it was like, let me move away. Let's see how it's like. It's a bit different life. Have to make friends, have to be sociable. So I was like, you know what, let me take this step and see what happens, kind of thing. So my parents were backing me, brother backed me. And yeah, I just went off the radar. Like, none of my friends knew I moved.
Really?
Yeah,
you just ghosted everybody?
Just ghosted everyone. I knew I wanted to be a footballer, so I knew I had to make that sacrifice, be away from my friends, kind of thing, so I can get the job done.
So, I mean, just kind of talk about your journey as you progressed through that college, and because obviously that ultimately, you know, landed in something big, and you landed at Bristol City.
Yeah, so obviously moved to Swindon now. I've moved to like a host family, so living quite close to the college, going every day, working like normal, and training every day like normal. So we just had games every weekend. The same manager that got me from the trial was obviously the manager of Swindon. So like, he just kept on pushing me. He's like, look, give yourself a year, kind of thing. Like, make sure you get your studies done, BTEC, whatever it is. I'm going to make sure you're going to be at the top of your game by the end of the year, kind of thing. I'm thinking, what's this guy talking about? Everyone's told me that I need a year this, I need a year that. But I was like, you know what? Let's trust his judgment.
Trusted the
process. So yeah, playing games, start getting fitter, start getting stronger, moving quicker. I'm thinking, oh, damn, this is serious, kind of thing. And we're playing against like a lot of local teams, winning 5-0, I'm scoring 4 goals here, 5 goals here. I'm thinking, like, damn, like, opportunity is coming, kind of thing. So eventually the year came up and he got an opportunity to move to Bristol College. And he was like, you know what, like, you can come to the college as well. You can still stay in Swindon, but you can play games on a Wednesday and Saturday for the Bristol College. So a lot of the time I'm commuting from Swindon to Bristol, like weekly, like,
wow.
And these times I haven't really got much money, but the manager, like, honestly, bless him, he always came to pick me up.
Wow.
And drop me, pick me up, drop me. 6 a.m. he used to come and pick me up so I can get to the college for training at like 7:30.
I don't think people are really understanding this like level of dedication.
Yeah.
What was it that just kept you going?
I just knew I wanted to play ball. Like, I loved the game so much. I always used to watch on Sky Sports this and that, something football related. I'm like, I want to be there. Like, I want to be there. At some point, I'll be there by God's grace. And like, the manager he trusted the process so much and trusted me. Always came to pick me up. Always made sure I ate. Always had something along the lines of football done. So I thank him so much for my journey, honestly.
I mean, we got to give him major flowers, because then from that point you progressed on and ultimately signed with Bristol City in 2017. Yeah. I mean, I've seen in the past you described that as your proudest moment of your career so far. Talk a bit about that moment.
Yeah, so when I was at the Bristol College, you always used to see Bristol City. They used to sit in the same canteen as us, and it was always like a fierce rivalry. So like,
really,
yeah,
against the first team.
Yeah, no, not the first team, the under 18s.
Okay.
So like, always used to see them. Always looking over, thinking, oh, they're wearing their Bristol tracksuits and stuff. I'm thinking, these guys are not even that good. Like just us as a college, like we were elite. Like we won the leagues like every year, kind of thing. So like in the summer, there was always games against academy teams. And that summer that Bristol picked me up, we played against them. We played against Oxford. We played against a team in France. I can't remember the name. We won 3-0 the first game, 4-0 the next game. I think it was 4-0 the other game as well. And I've scored in all those games.
Is that where your celebration came from? Is that where the backflip came from?
Nah, do you know what? It's when I signed at Bristol.
Okay,
as soon as I signed at Bristol, but I'll get onto that point. But yeah, like after those games, I just remember Bristol scouts speaking to my parents and speaking to the manager, just saying like we're interested, kind of thing. So 2 weeks later, I went on trial to Bristol. Played 2 games, scored in both those games.
Wow.
I think we played against Leeds and Hull, and scored in both those games. And then like 2 weeks later, pen to paper, signed.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
I mean, describe the moment of, signing, going to the team facility, signing the dotted line, sharing that moment with your family. I mean, listen, man, this is the stuff of dreams. Like it was happening for you in that moment.
Do you know what? Yeah. I remember when they called me into the office, I was thinking, oh God, here we go again kind of thing. I'm thinking about all the other moments that have happened, saying, a year this, a year that. So I sat down and I can see the scouts in the distance just smiling. I can see guys walking past the window smiling. I'm thinking, damn, I've got a good feeling about this. So they sat me down, just went through obviously the 2 games, what I could do better, what I did well. And then they were just like, ultimately, look, like we want to sign you. We want to sign you on a 2-year deal. I just looked at my mum and dad like this. I was just like, oh my days. Just like my guts just doing cartwheels. I was thinking, nah, like I've never experienced this feeling before. So I was just like, thank you. Like you guys won't regret kind of thing. And yeah, just thank God for that opportunity. That's why it's my proudest moment. Just suffering all that rejection and then finally hearing that good news, that mentality that I had, it goes a long way. So I'm so thankful.
And ultimately, how would you just kind of sum up your time that you spent at Bristol?
I can always call it a home. Like, obviously, basically grew up there, like from 18 onwards. So, yeah, it's just, they made me what I am today, footballer-wise. It's a great city to live, had so many good friends that I still keep in contact with today. But yeah, like, I just love playing in that city. It was so good, had so many good moments, had bad moments too, which is normal. But ultimately, it's just, yeah, it was so good.
One of your bright moments when you played in Bristol was when you got the call up to play for Ghana. Let's talk about that moment. I mean, how did you find out you made the team?
So we played Fulham. We played Fulham that weekend and scored a brace. Like, the brace is like it was mad. The roof of the net, dribble from the halfway line, muscling man, and I put it in the bottom corner. I'm thinking,
crazy.
This game was mad, but we lost 6-2. So that's
wait, what?
We lost 6-2. So
okay, but
don't get me started.
I wasn't expecting that plot twist.
No. We lost 6-2. But anyway, that game was done. Everyone in change was like, that Ant's like, that mad, this and that. I'm thinking, yeah, man, it was a sick game, but we lost. So obviously got back to training on that Monday. And I remember just like the training ground just being like silent. Like every time I got into the change room, it's like silent. No one's really chatting to me. I'm thinking like, what's going on? Cool. See the manager. He's like, like, can I chat to you in the office? I'm thinking like, have I done a madness? I'm even asking the manager like, have I done something? But anyway, I got to the office and he was just like, spoke to the Ghana manager and they want to call you up for the next friendlies. And I'm sitting in the office thinking, you guys are not joking, like you're being serious kind of thing. He's like, yeah, like they called us and they said they want to call you for the next games. And I just remember just looking up at the sky thinking, man, this is actually a madness.
This is a movie.
Like I'm sitting there reminiscing when I was getting rejected by Millwall, by Charlton. I'm thinking about all the moments to getting called up for Ghana. Like my uncles always used to say, if you get a chance, don't play for England, play for Ghana, play for Ghana. So like there was little doors opening for England under 20s, thinking, okay, like this is cool, but obviously never happened. So that when that Ghana one came up, I was thinking, man, I have to take this. I remember calling my dad, brother, mum, I got called up for Ghana, this and that. And yeah, man.
What was their reaction?
Everyone just screaming. Mum screaming down the phone. I'm thinking, I even have to put my phone to the side and that. Like, it's too funny, but nah, they were just so proud. It's just like hard work. Just hard work gets you. So, yeah, man, I just remember that moment so vividly. And it was so good. That was so great.
And so far, what's been the best thing about representing the home team?
You know, it's just going back home kind of thing. Like when you go back home, I remember my cousins went not long ago and I'm on a billboard wearing Puma, like in the Ghana kit. So it's like every time you go past the airport, you see me kind of thing. It's a madness, honestly. So like when you go back home, the love is different. Like you get a bit of love when you're playing for your team in England or whatever, but like the love out there is different. They love football. Football's everything to them. So like you pull up to the airport, everyone's trying to carry your suitcases, your backpack. You've been trying to hold my phone. I'm thinking like, this is a madness.
This is different.
It's different.
Yeah,
it's different. You got people dancing for you at the airport. I'm thinking, this love it's different. It's different kind of love. But yeah, man, just going back home. As soon as I land, everyone's just showing love. Can I get a picture of this, signature that, which is normal, but the love is different.
And obviously in December, Ghana competed in the World Cup. Yeah. As a young kid, did you ever dream about playing in the World Cup? I mean, just think about all the legends from that ever laced it up to play in the World Cup. Did you ever see yourself in those shoes to finally make it there one day?
I never thought that far. Like, I always thought, like, let me just get signed. Let me play for a professional team, you know. At least I've got that under my belt kind of thing. So, like, when that Ghana call-up came up, I was thinking, you know, I've got a good chance here. It was near enough the time that they were starting to pick the team for December. So I was like, you know what, let me just ball out. Let me just do everything I can to get called. And I remember that time leading up to December, I was like, doing a madness, scoring a brace here, goal here, assist here. I remember I was like 7 goals, 5 assists in like 8 games or something like that. I can't remember. But yeah, I was just moving warm. I was just on warm. I was just moving warm, really. So like the World Cup obviously came up and the team came out. And before I looked at the document, I was like, oh.
Wait, I gotta stop you right there.
Yeah.
Before the list comes out, you guys don't know who's getting selected?
I hadn't been called then. I hadn't been called, but I think I don't know what happened, but it must have been on their side. But I hadn't got a call until like I found out the team, and then they called me kind of thing. So I'm obviously flicking through the names, I'm going really slow at this point. So I'm thinking, okay, I'm going past the goalkeeper, defenders, and like, oh, please let me see my name. Scroll down to the bottom, at the bottom of the list. At the bottom of the list, I'm thinking, oh my, I'm doing cartwheels in the house and that. I'm hitting the dog and the dog's going, just a madness really. But
no way.
Yeah, man, I was just like, oh my days, I'm going to the World Cup. And I remember going into training the next day and it was just like everyone just bombarding me, just like congrats, this and that. So yeah, at that moment, oh man, I've never felt anything like that before. I haven't.
Let's talk about some of your teammates. Who are some of your favourite teams in the Ghana camp?
Tariq Lamptey at Brighton. He's too funny, man.
What's he like?
He's like proper chill, but when you get to know him and it opens up, he's a good guy, man. So humble, so calm. And yeah, he's just easy to get along with, really. Jojo Willacott, I was with him at Bristol, funny enough. We played 23s together, trying to get into the first team, can't get into the first team. So like, it's a mad story, really. Like,
you ended up in Ghana together.
Honestly, It's crazy. So yeah, them two are like the two I chill with the most, I would say. Like, pretty chill. Everyone's pretty funny, yeah. So they're easy going.
Let's talk about Mohamed Kudus. I mean, he's kind of a strong figure in that locker room. What's he like as a player and also as a person?
No, we call him Starboy. Like you can see what he does in the Premier League. He does that for Ghana as well. Like, it's not easy playing on those African pitches, but he somehow manages to do it. He's so good, so strong, so quick. Like, yeah, man. I mean, what he's done this season, it's very much normal because we see it on a day-to-day in training. Like, you can see that he's just adventurous with everything. So yeah, man, it's obviously a great player to have on the Ghana team. It makes us stronger. So yeah, man, I can't speak highly enough for him.
Let's talk about the game against Portugal. What was it like going on the pitch and stepping up against Cristiano Ronaldo?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, when we were going out for the warm up, we came out at the same time, and I could just see Ronaldo at the front. I'm at the back, so like, I'm even trying to get to the front. Like, a couple of the local guys have been called up at this time, and you can see they're trying to wriggle past everyone to see him at the front, trying to dab him up and that. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna see him again.
You're his opponent, though. You was acting like a fan in the moment.
Listen. I just wanted to see him. I've never seen him in person, so I'm thinking, is he tall? Is he hench? He was tall, hench, aura. I'm thinking, oh my God.
All of the things in between.
We're cooked. So I'm even going out to warm up. I'm even looking in the distance, trying to see him what he's like. But yeah, man, that game was just a madness. I was on the bench that game, and I remember we scored, they scored, we scored, I think, and then they obviously scored too. Like, there's a meme out there of Andre Ayew. He's on the bench, he's come off, I think we just scored, it's 2-2, dab him up someone. And he turns around like this, it's 3-2 for kid. Honestly, that meme is it's too funny. But yeah, like, everything just happened so quick. They were so good. Like, obviously been together for ages, and our manager just came in quite close to the World Cup. So like, you can see they had the cohesion, you can see they had the chemistry kind of thing. But I remember coming on, I was thinking, oh my God, like, this is mad. I'm looking around the stadium, it's full. You can't see no seats, you can see everyone.
Did you come on looking to make an impact?
Yeah, of course. I'm coming on to try and score. I'm trying to do something.
Trying to make history in that moment.
I remember I bounced the ball back to the defender. I was thinking, okay, I've got my first touch, it's calm. He's bounced it back to me. I've gone to town. I got absolutely smashed by Paulinho from Fulham. Oh man, I was like, yeah, welcome to the game, welcome to the World Cup. I was thinking, damn, but
knocked you up the side of the head.
Boy, I just remember rolling over. I'm thinking, oh shit, man, I'm cooked, man. But yeah, as the game was going on, we're obviously trying to get the equaliser, and I'm just going long, winning flick-ons, corners here. But obviously, nothing happened from those moments. But I remember one of the fullbacks crossed the ball and the keeper obviously collected it. And Inaki Williams, he was like chilling behind the goal, but behind the keeper, and no one even realised. And like when the crowd are shouting, like, you're not going to take notice kind of thing. So keeper's gone to dash the ball to kick it. It's come around the front. I'm thinking, oh my days, we're going to score. I'm even running thinking, like, send me the ball out. Let me shoot aside. He's obviously gone to shoot himself and he's missed kind of thing. I'm thinking, man, what is this guy doing? No. But then in the moment, it's like, I probably would have done the same thing because it's open goal at the end of the day. But the defenders end up recovering and never score from that moment. But that game,
that has to be one of the craziest games.
Honestly, that game was a madness. Wow. It's crazy.
So I mean, let's just talk about Qatar World Cup experience. What was that entire experience like?
From like when we stepped on the plane, like sat down and we're in the air. Everyone sitting in business together, thinking like,
soft life.
I'm World Cup. This is a madness. I'm texting my boys thinking, oh shit, like I'm going to a World Cup, man. I'm like, this is a madness. So get off the plane, obviously walking through the airport and stuff. When we get to the hotel, oh my days, like there's Ghanaians there. There's just every single fan you can think of, all celebrating, shouting, dancing. I'm thinking, yo, this is crazy. Like I'm even getting overwhelmed. Like spare people. Like we've got like a little trail where we're walking to the hotel, and then you've got loads of people on the side. Oh, high five, trying to get a picture. This and that. Security saying like just like relax kind of thing. But like just spare people. Get into the hotel. Got all the hotel stuff. I think we booked out the whole hotel, so it's only us in there. Pulled up, the staff are dancing. We've got our traditional dancers dancing. The staff are dancing in the background doing this one. I'm thinking, what is going on? Like this is a madness. And then we're getting welcome stuff, this and that. And I'm thinking, I'm getting a lift to my room now. Thinking, yo, like this is where this is the stage you want to play at. So like, I'm thinking like, yeah, let's get ready for this first game. Let's make an impact kind of thing and try to get a goal. That'll be great kind of thing. But yeah, overall, Qatar, beautiful country. Like, done a lot of walking, went around the town centre and stuff, viewing everywhere. And it's so beautiful. Like, yeah, man, that World Cup experience, let alone, like, forget the football side of things, just off the pitch, it was like, yeah, man, I can't even describe it.
It's a moment. It's a moment for life.
Yeah, no, it is, man. And I always cherish it.
One step. Hey, let's transition back to England.
Cool.
Back to football in England.
Yeah.
You got your big break in January 2023.
Yeah.
Bournemouth came through and they wanted to sign you, and they did.
Yeah.
You got your first move to the Premier League.
Yeah.
Well, just listen, how did the news come to you, and just talk me through the emotions during that moment?
It was after the World Cup. Obviously, got back playing with Bristol, and I think just before I left for the World Cup, I think that month I was struggling. I started hitting a down spell with goals and stuff. So January came. There was obviously a bit of rumours, this and that. So like when the rumours came up, I was like, you know what? Let me try to get back into form. Like do a little bit. I remember just scoring 3 goals in 3 games, and like everyone saying, "Right, because of Bournemouth are interested. He wants to leave, this and that because he scored all the goals." I'm thinking, what kind of rubbish is that? I need to score goals. I'm doing my job, like kind of thing. But
how do players deal with like rumours and just outside noise? Like,
to be honest, I just don't pay attention. I don't pay attention at all. Like it's all rumours at the end of the day. Like it could be true, it might not be true, but you got a job to do at the end of the day. So like I'm always just focused on what I've got at hand. And just just keep focused kind of thing. Don't get lost in all of the rumours and interests. But it's nice to hear as well as a player. I mean, it shows you're playing well. But yeah, you don't want to get lost in that. So yeah, I didn't pay attention really.
So anyway, back to that, you made the move to Bournemouth now. Yeah. What was your welcome to the Premier League moment?
I think when we played Brighton, that was the first game. That was my first game. And I stepped out in the stadium. I'm looking around thinking, damn, like there's cameras everywhere. Like every angle you can think of, there's cameras. You got the cameras from the top of the stadium going left and right. I'm thinking, yo, he didn't get this in the championship. There was only like 3-4 cameras at Bristol. Like now there's like 100 kind of thing. But stepping out, obviously doing my normal ritual of praying before I go and warm up. But like, I was starting this game. So like, I'm thinking, damn, I'm nervous. Like I knew the day before I was starting. So like the manager said, like, look, like we're gonna be starting you kind of thing. So I'm thinking, I'm in the hotel, nervous. I'm calling my agent thinking, damn, like, oh, this is a madness. Calling my boys, calling my brother. I'm thinking like, I'm starting. This is the Premier League. Like I've always dreamed to play in the Premier League. So you know what? Let's embrace this moment. Let's like show why you're on this stage, kind of thing. So stepped out to the stadium now. I'm looking around. I'm thinking, oh my days, this is the Premier League. Like you could just sense it. Like this is what the Premier League is like. You got all the fans there. Obviously got the opposition. I'm looking over. I'm seeing Matoma warming up, thinking, oh man, I don't want to get cooked by this guy, I'll be honest. But anyway, the game starts now and like, they're just popping it. I'm thinking, oh my God, like I'm blowing after 10 minutes. So I'm looking around thinking, I've got 80 minutes to go. I'm struggling here already.
You really noticed the step up in level of competition?
Yeah, definitely. Like I got the ball a couple of times, couple of heavy touches, gone off the pitch. I'm thinking, these guys must think I'm crap, man. I've lost the ball like 3-4 times. But anyway, like, I had a couple of opportunities. Keeper saved a shot and then just a couple of dribbles and stuff. I was thinking, like, I'm warming up into the game, but they were sick. Like Brian was so good, they were popping it, running back this way, that way. I'm thinking, I'm not even getting the ball now. But like, when you play against a team like that keep the ball based, like it's hard. It's hard. That's your first game in the Prem. That's the hardest game you can play. Like obviously besides that Man City's, the Arsenals and stuff, but they were good, man. That was like the first proper experience I felt of the Premier League, like just getting absolutely bopped. I'll be honest, I'm chasing this guy. I'm looking around thinking, where are my teammates? Everyone's blowing as well, just like me. So like, yeah, everyone was struggles, but that was like the first proper moment of being in the Premier League.
Who were some players that you kind of looked at that you wanted to go against, whether they be tough defenders or other strikers or just players that you may have looked up to?
Obviously Haaland is number one. Like you see on TV, like scoring all these goals and thinking, like, surely he's not like this in person. I remember I was ill just before that game, so I didn't actually come on, but obviously watching him, like you get a feel for what he's like. That man is tall. My goodness, tall, strong, fast, can finish. He's got everything you need as a striker. So like, I remember Man City just bopping. I'm thinking, okay, like this is normal, that they bop it anyway. I think Ruben Diaz wraps the ball to him. The ball's like this high. I'm thinking, how's he gonna do it? He's just soaked on his chest like this. I'm thinking, Haaland, man. I tell you what, the aura he has, like you can see, like when he's on the pitch, if you don't mark him, it's done. Score. He's gonna score, kind of thing. Like everyone's trying to mark him, and even when you mark him, he still scores, kind of thing. But I remember obviously watching him, I was thinking, like, yeah. This is the kind of striker I want to be. I want to have this presence, kind of thing, where I'm being marked by everyone. But hardest defender, I'll say, Virgil van Dijk.
Wow.
Virgil van Dijk. When we played Liverpool, we beat them. That year I signed, we beat them 2-0. And I came on in that game. I remember running behind. All I can hear is this man's footstep, dum, 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 chasing me. I'm thinking, this guy's fast. This guy's fast. Like he's 6'5", 6'4", 6'5", and he is fast. Like he's got presence. You can hear him coming. So like I'm even trying to focus on getting my shot across. I'm thinking, he's ducking me down, kind of thing. Puts me off completely. Wow. Like his aura just puts me off, and I've dragged the ball wide. I'm thinking, oh man, but like he's tough, like he's strong. He reads the game well. Sprays a diagonal every 10 seconds, but it's like so accurate, gets to Trent. But he's definitely the hardest defender I've come up against.
What's one thing fans don't know about the day in the life of a footballer that you think they should know? Okay. Well, let's start in the morning, just like getting up for training. I feel it even starts from the night before. So if you're leading up to a game, it's like you need to eat your pre-match food. You need to make sure you're eating right, so you've got enough energy for the morning. And then you wake up early, you have to report to the stadium at a certain time. You need to eat at a certain time. You need to report into the change room at a certain time. So it's like all strict timings kind of thing. So I feel like just the order of what the night before leading up to a game is like, you have to be on point, you have to be on time, you have to eat at a certain time, because you eat maybe 10 minutes before or after, maybe, like you feel it in your body. That's crazy. Like, I think there was one game where I had pretty much really late. I can't remember what happened during that morning, but I had pretty much really, I could feel it in the game. Really?
And then I've had food at the time that we're meant to have it, and I feel calm. I've got all the energy in the world. Like just even that 10 minutes, that split 10 minutes makes a massive difference. So yeah, I'd say that, to be fair.
You play alongside Dominic Solanke, who kind of sets the standard for the team. What's he like as a teammate behind the scenes?
Oh, he's cool, man. He's a sneakerhead, anime head. He loves his anime, man.
He's a big anime head. I've been seeing some.
Every celebration is anime related, but it's just different. Like you don't really see many players like that. But in general, he's a cool guy, very chill. Yeah, it's a baller, man. Like just scores goals. Like his aura. Like yeah, man. He's been massive for us this season. I'll be honest. Like without him, I don't know where we'd be, if I'm honest. Like he scored so many important goals. Plays a crucial part in our press as well. And like many people don't see it. They obviously see the goals, but they need to see what he does without the ball. He presses so much. I think like he's like the top 5 players in the league that's covered like the most distance. Like he runs, he does a job for us, holds up the ball when we're under pressure, wins fouls. And he does so many things besides the goals. But overall, man, such a nice guy and a cool guy to chill with.
So, I mean, it feels like everything that's kind of happened in the past couple of years has been such a blur so far. But how would you kind of sum up all your experiences into, you know, the one thing that you've learned?
I think it goes back to my mentality. You know what, like, as a player, you always suffer bad moments, injuries, whatever. And then you obviously have your good moments where you're consistently scoring. But I feel like it's all in your head kind of thing. Like when I'm tired in the game, I'm like, oh, can I run this extra meal? But then it's also like in my head, I'm like, think about where you were before, where you're busting your gut to run around. Just because you've made it, you're playing in the Premier League, don't change your mindset. So my mindset's always been the same. Just keep going, keep pushing yourself. No matter what is going on, just keep pushing yourself. So I feel like, yeah, like my mentality is so strong with whatever the circumstances are. Whenever I'm injured, when I have been injured previously, I've been strong. Keep my head going, keep my head high. Even use that time to work on your game. And I'll be watching different clips, watching this person, that person. How can I add their movement, their finishing to my game kind of thing? So like, everything's just in my head, really. So my mentality is so strong, really. So yeah, it's a blessing. Everything that's happened before is a blessing.
So what's next for Antoine Semenyo? What's kind of like some of the things you're looking ahead to?
Got international break coming. Got World Cup qualifiers, Mali and Central African Republic. So those are 2 crucial games. But yeah, after that, just zoning out, really, just relaxing and preparing for the new season ahead. So yeah, man, let's get these friendlies done. Hopefully get 2 wins and chilling, man.
And what's one last thing you want to leave with the audience? I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of young and aspiring, you know, upcoming players that want to be in your shoes where you are right now. What's one thing that you want to leave with them?
I know it's a cliche about like working hard. A lot of coaches say work hard, but it's like you have to work hard. Like you have to put the minutes in, whether that's extras, whether that's listening to coaches, listening to your parents. You have to work hard in all elements of that. So I would say just keep your head down. If you're obviously going through a bad time, just keep pushing yourself. Have people around you who are going to support you, and yeah, enjoy it. I feel like people forget the enjoyment of football when you're a kid. Enjoy the game, because once you get to a certain level, like, not to say you don't enjoy it, but it becomes hard. So I'd say enjoy football and just keep working hard.
Well, Ants, listen, it's been a pleasure catching up with you. Thank you so much for coming through. And
man.
All the best.
Appreciate it, my
in
boy.
The qualifiers, I'm sure I'll catch up with you this summer, bro.
Man, appreciate it. Love, my bro. Yeah.